Charlie Kirk was not a good man. He was not a good person in the slightest. He stood for every single hateful thing, and he was every kind of phobe, ism, and ist under the sun. He heavily spouted racism, xenophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism. He was a fascist and a neo-Nazi. He was all of it. It is a tragedy that he lost his life to gun violence. It is a tragedy that hundreds of people had to witness it. It is a tragedy that his wife and two young girls had to watch their father be murdered in front of them. It is a tragedy that his wife chose to marry that kind of man. It is a tragedy that his wife shared the same political views as him and still chose to bring two children into this world with that man. It is a tragedy those two little girls had to watch their father die and no longer have him a part of their lives. It is a tragedy that no one is doing anything to combat gun violence. No one in our Senate, no one in our legislation, no one in our Congress is doing anything but giving thoughts and prayers. It is a tragedy that there was another mass shooting happening today as well around the same time. It is a tragedy that people continue to lose their lives at the hand of guns. It is a tragedy that Charlie Kirk also said that lives lost from gun violence is the appropriate price to pay to keep our Second Amendment rights. It is a tragedy that he said it is prudent that people lose lives to gun violence to keep our Second Amendment rights. Let me say it again so you get it through your head. Stay with me. It is a tragedy that Charlie Kirk said it is damn near vital for people to lose their lives to gun violence in order for us Americans to keep our Second Amendment rights. Oh, I bet he's rolling in his grave now. He's still probably cold in the morgue. It is a tragedy that he lost his life this way. It is. And I'm not saying he deserved it, but God's timing is always right. Good night.
When Americans are angry, they turn to guns. Every single time. We've been trying to tell you that for years, for over 20 years, because children have been unalived in their places of learning over and over and over again by hurt individuals. So it has happened to CEOs of the worst corporations in this country. It has happened to our president. Now it's happened to Charlie Kirk. Now it's happened to a political figure, which tells us something important about our culture. The internet and media have made it so the political space has expanded drastically. And in light of this, so have feelings about and surrounding politics. They've expanded, they've grown, and they've gotten serious to the point where people are so distraught and angered by their political emotions that they have resorted to pew-pewing people. And I can't act like I don't understand that. I can't act as though that feeling and that result is not expected when the talking points of these social media figures have led to a culture based around hating individuals who look like me. We are seeing a drastic resurgence of marginalization and dehumanization taking commonplace in America, in our social institutions. Places that we're supposed to feel safe are now politicized in a way that hurts brown, black, and LGBTQ communities. What do you expect to happen? Charlie Kirk has been one of the biggest vessels in communicating this hatred. And now we're seeing a symptom of a deeper problem manifesting in the violence that was perpetuated against him. People are angry and afraid, and they don't like the direction that this country is going. And they don't know what to do about it. Blame the root problem. Blame the fascist culture that is taking over this country, that is making every other country look at us like we are crazy. Are you seeing it now? Are you understanding that something is wrong?
Charlie Kirk was shot dead today. Let's take a look at the legacy that he will leave behind. So how about we start with his campaign to dismantle the legacy of the civil rights movement. In a December 2023 speech, Charlie Kirk didn't just critique Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he launched a full-scale character assassination, labeling him as awful and not a good person, claiming he's only admired for saying things he didn't actually believe. Now, he went even further. Kirk called the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964 a huge mistake and argued that it created a permanent DEI type of bureaucracy. Now, he pushed the radical theory as well that the act, in his words, superseded the U.S. Constitution. And then when he was challenged, he doubled down, calling MLK a mythological anti-racist creation, and then bragged about targeting the sacred cow of modern America. On abortion, he publicly celebrated the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And here's what he said when he was asked if he would force his own 10-year-old daughter to carry a pregnancy to term after she was assaulted.
And she was 10 and she got raped. And she was going to give birth and she would, no, wait. Oh, and she was going to give birth and she was going to live. would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
But it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Now, on gun violence, he consistently downplayed America's gun violence epidemic.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
On race in Black America, Charlie Kirk supported a ban on DEI, overturning the Civil Rights Act and promoting a whitewash version of history. He supported banning AP African American Studies and even said that when it comes to slavery, there's a lot more to the story. And when it comes to Black professionals, on pilots, he stated, if I see a Black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. He also blamed Black people for the air traffic controller crisis. He frequently disparages Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson as a diversity hire and insisted that she was only appointed because she's a Black woman. He denies that systemic racism even exists and supports punitive sentencing and then referred to George Floyd as a scumbag. He even led the efforts to pardon Derek Chauvin, the police officer that was convicted of his murder. Now, on women and misogyny, he's no better. His misogyny covers us all. He went on a bizarre rant directed at Taylor Swift, instructing her to submit to her husband, and he also claimed that men don't want to date women in their 30s because we're not at our prime. On LGBTQ plus rights, Charlie Kirk has labeled the LGBTQ plus community a cult. He even cited a Bible verse that calls for gay people to be put to death as God's perfect law. He advocates for a nationwide ban on gender-affirming care and calls the transgender identity a lie that hurts people and abuses kids. On democracy and January 6th, his group, Turning Point USA, was deeply involved in efforts to try and overturn the 2020 election. He bragged about sending 80 buses to Washington, D.C. on January 6th for people to fight for Donald Trump. And then when he was subpoenaed by the House committee investigating the insurrection, he pled the fifth. On Palestine, he denies the very existence of the Palestinian people and their homeland and says outright that Palestinians in Palestine just doesn't exist.
I don't think the place exists.
What?
Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. It's not called Palestine.
You don't believe that Palestine have the right to exist?
No, everyone has a right to exist. Show me where it is. It's a non-existent place.
He has routinely championed what Israel's doing in Gaza, a genocide. He's championed it, and he's a friend to Israel. Also rallied against COVID-19 and public health measures to stop the spread of the virus, spread dangerous vaccine information. His organization also said something blatantly false about Jamie Foxx and said that he was paralyzed and blind from a COVID vaccination. On student loan forgiveness, he opposed student loan forgiveness despite his own group, Turning Point USA, taking $350,000 in COVID relief PPP loans that were later forgiven. Charlie was the founder of Turning Point USA. Their tactics include a professor watch list that is designed to intimidate and harass academics, a school board watch list targeting officials who support public health measures or the teaching of accurate history. He also meddles in student government elections to defund progressive groups. On Trump and Christian nationalism, he played a huge role in getting Trump elected. He organized voter drives and events, and he's often credited for delivering the youth vote for Trump. He invokes the Seven Mountains Mandate, a call for conservative Christians to seize control of all aspects of society. He says Donald Trump is a crucial figure in restoring this so-called Christian morality and has even called for a full military occupation of American cities after the DC occupation to restore order. So knowing all of that, how do you think Charlie Kirk will be remembered?
I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk. First of all, Charlie Kirk don't believe in empathy. He said it's a bad thing. He said it's some new age made up shit. He also said people got to be sacrificed in order to protect guns. If he was saying that while fighting for reparations, I may have a little bit of empathy. But this white on white violence, he died? Damn, B. Life comes at you fast. I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk because I cannot be in his shoes. I have no frame of reference for that. I have no cognizance for that. There literally is nothing about his existence that I can relate to.
In everything you do on media now, right? Mind what you say, mind what you put out there. Because this Mr. Charlie has really pulled out a lot of hatred in the Black community to the point that even when he passed on, the feelings were not there. These are people just coming out to air out their honest opinion, and I will never blame them for coming out to air out their honest opinion. Yes, I will not, because even as a mother, if you hate a particular child and love one particular child, the day that one particular child that you love will misbehave, that one that you hate will be so happy and grateful to God. That's the honest truth. He has pushed negative thoughts to the point that a lot of black people cannot even have common sympathy for him. It's not just ending with just black people. Even some white people, like, they do not care. I watched a particular interview, if not because of the music, I would have just added it up to this clip, and they were asking this set of white people, oh, what do you feel about this man's death? And they were like, oh, they are happy, they are this, they are that, oh, he deserves it, and the rest of that. It's bad. It's bad that because of just the early money you want to make, or because of the you want to make yourself aware, you forgot that that same thing that you actually put trigger to can actually fall back to your end. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. If this is the first time you're tuning in, please do subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. My name is Sonia, and thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for always watching my videos. I do not take you guys for granted. This video is just for educational purpose, and credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches you see in our today's episode. And I stand a chance to be corrected. I keep saying it in my videos, right? Correct me if you think I'm wrong in anywhere. But let's go out. Let me roll out the other clips I have for you guys. Then I'll be back with commentaries.
Everyone's raging on about Charlie Kirk dying and the situation that happened with him at the Turning Point event. You have to understand that there's certain things in life that come with heavy consequences. And when you spend the majority of your life, if not all of it, at the start of your political career, pushing African-American hate, black hate, the continuous idea of black on black crime, and that black people were better off in slavery, and since there would be lower crime rates or whatever his delusional mind was on, there's no sympathy or empathy for that. And then at the same time, I can also say, who is Charlie Kirk? Did he even exist? I mean, he denied the existence of Palestinians. He denied the existence of our people, of our culture, of our background. He completely looked over all of that and acted as if we never existed. So why should we acknowledge that a Charlie Kirk existed? What's a Charlie Kirk? What is it? Did it even exist? It doesn't anymore. I mean, the idea of Palestine and the ideology of Palestine and the existence of our people just surpassed Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk's entire ideology was to be here on earth, spew hate, try to align himself with the wrong empire. Well, he aligned himself with the empire, which was the wrong side. And now he paid the ultimate price. I understand that he had a family. I understand that he had a wife and kids. But you know what? At the same time, every single day, husbands and wives and children are getting blown to bits, and nobody cares. There's no empathy for that. So why should we currently have the empathy for somebody who didn't even acknowledge our existence? It doesn't make sense. So at this point, Charlie Kirk is just a make-believe fantasy who was literally just alive for as long as a little storybook, a little peck in the dust of life. He will be forgotten. Fascists and people who spew hate and murder and the genocide of people have absolutely nothing to be remembered by other than that. He will be swallowed by the dirt. He will return to God. He will be judged by the two in the grave. And that's all that matters at this point, because he had absolutely no empathy, no sympathy, no love for anybody other than his far right constituents who were pushing all of his narrative views and he was pushing onto them. And they were just doing this back and forth cycle of dividing America, spewing hate and putting hate into people's mind. Meanwhile, the entire time, the enemy was Israel. From the very beginning of it, he even mentioned it himself that he was afraid, or he saw that it would be Israel that would take him out, if anything. Well, he started to change his points of views on Israel and how they were portraying certain things in the media and information about America and where America was going, particularly not to what the genocide in Palestine was talking about or what's going on over there, but just primarily how it's still, what his views were, it's how is it affecting white people. And what was affecting white people, or what is affecting white people right now, is immigration. Because this shit was pushed on them by other Zionists and certain Jewish classes in America that are pro-Israel, and they want to see a downfall of America. This is all about the downfall of America. Once you guys understand that, everything else will make sense. Palestine and Greater Israel, this whole situation here, the whole world banks on this scenario because this is the future of the world. They are looking for a new empire, a new place to call the empire, and their goal is to suck America dry completely of all its funds, its resources, its political ambitions, anything that its infrastructure capabilities, its engineering, its sciences. It's literally sucking every aspect of that out by means of finances, by means of resources, and by means of sending your children to war to fight for Israel on behalf of the plans that they have to unleash their Greater Israel on the Middle East. Your young men are dying who would have better chances in America if there was a better economy here to help push them. And instead, the economy is going towards Israel while telling your young men, hey, we don't have jobs over here. You have to join the army. And we promised this, we promised that. And at the end of the day, the only thing that was promised was forever wars. It's been 25 years of just nothing but forever wars, all on behalf of Israel. 7 nations, Iran being the last one. Now we are in the final moments of what is to come. I believe that America will be sucked completely dry in the coming future, as long as the people are extremely complacent and just give up their freedoms for the sake of Israel. Even though, ask yourselves this: when was the last time Israel ever helped America? Israel always tells you that without Israel, America would have problems in the Middle. America never had problems in the Middle East. If anything, America's economic gains from the Middle East would flourish. It would have been through the roof. Why? Because we're doing all of this just for the sake of Israel. Israel puts every single Jewish individual on earth at risk. It's Israel that does that. Every Jew on earth. There's no anti-Semitic, there's no greater anti-Semitism to the Jew than the state of Israel. They don't care about your life. They don't care about your religion. They don't care about where you end up. They want you to be hedonistic. They want you to be stupid. They want you to be so far up Israel's butt that you have no idea or recollection of what the reality of the world actually is. You guys are so into your own psychotic mind states that you guys can't even see or read the rooms around you when you're around other people that look at you and despise what you're doing. So listen, at the end of the day, I came on here to say Charlie Kirk was a man who spewed hate, who had no love for anybody else other than his far-right constituents. He didn't even love America. He only loved certain aspects of America, and he just wanted to divide more so between the classes. The only thing that's killing America right now is your left versus right, and they are monetizing off of that. They are capitalizing off of that. These forever wars are because of that. Just keep that in mind. Love you guys.
A black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't. Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks. We would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
Hey y'all, so they killed Charlie Kirk, okay? So you know I usually talk about things from a spiritual point of view. And so there's two types of exposure. There's the true exposure coming from the spirit, and then there's fake exposure. Now the true exposure is all these things that are going to be coming out over time and being released, and people finding out the truth, who really did what, and all the little, people are going to all fall in place of what's happening. That's happening little by little with spirit. Fake exposure is what these people have been doing and deceiving their people. Now, let's talk about who had motive to do this to him, okay? For one thing, Charlie Kirk was at least 6-7 years promising, along with a lot of other people, that they wanted to expose those people that were on that Epstein file. And then all of a sudden, he turned cold on them. And he decided that he don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm not going to talk about it. This is the last day. After just saying, I want to see the files. Well, it doesn't work like that when you've been one of the big mouths in a gang. Because that's what you're heading. You're one of the leaders of a gang, okay? And you cannot, ask any gang leader, you cannot, be in the gang and then just decide, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. Well, I'm not going to talk about it. It don't fucking go like that, baby. It don't go like that. That's not working. And as you can see, it hasn't worked. But he's not going to be the last one. I told you last week, they are going to off each other. They are going to off each other. They only like Donald Trump. Okay? They only like him. And it's going to get worse. They only like Donald Trump. Everybody else that has turned coat is going to see their day when it comes to those people that they've been dealing with. Because they don't know who they've been dealing with. They have released the Krakens. Okay? So now you deal with the people that you've hyped up all these years. You deal with them because they're out there. I'm telling my people, stay in the house, stay safe, and stay out of this mess that they have going on. It doesn't have anything to do with us. Eat your popcorn, drink your water, and watch this shit show, honey, because it's going down. And I'm reminding you that Spirit told me at the beginning of the month that he don't need no bombs to end this shit show. Okay? One by one, they're going down. Stay in the house.
The Charlie Kirk shooting and subsequently his death has shown me that America is in a much more precarious place than I think most of us are realizing. Them making this man a martyr and idolizing him is scary for a myriad of reasons, from the president saying he's awarding him the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
To the constant news coverage of people mourning, to grown men and women crying.
Just murder Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I love that guy.
Holding vigils around the country. The president ordering the flags being at half staff. To the Yankees actually putting up a picture of Charlie Kirk. I think and I fear that we're seeing the embodiment of white nationalism and conservatism boldly.
The chair would ask that all members present in the chamber and those in the gallery please rise for a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family.
I think this man represented something far, far more than most of us are really understanding in this country. And they're going to use this stuff as an agenda. And we can see it with how much they're mourning a man who basically hated everyone who wasn't a straight white Christian male. But everyone loves him. You have all of these liberal leaning political pundits and lying online and telling us we should mourn him. Why should I mourn someone who hated the very fabric of my existence? Look comparatively to the response the president and the country gives when school shootings happen. There have been 2 school shootings this month. I didn't see grown men crying. I didn't see the flags half staff. I didn't see the president give a speech. I didn't see Republicans lose their shit. When Mark and Melissa Hoffman, the Democratic senators from Minnesota, were killed by political violence, I didn't see the president say anything. I didn't see him address the fact that a MAGA supporter, a right-wing male supporter, went and assassinated Vance Bolter, assassinated these people. So why is it that the one man who espouses some of the craziest polarizing views on women, gays, blacks, people of color, non-Christians, why is it that we're treating this man like he actually helped America? He didn't help America, because I'm American and I felt threatened by him, by his very existence. He has been utilizing political violence for almost a decade, since he left college, well, dropped out of community college. The responses to this are alarming. It's alarming. Giving the man the presidential Medal of Freedom for what? For what? Why are you crying? Why are you crying, Paul? Why are you crying, Brendan? Go back to your farm. Go back and work your farm that no workers are at because you supported ICE. Makes no sense.
Some black Christians are truly insufferable. The way that y'all are pulling out biblical scripture and calling this man a brother in Christ, based on the disparaging remarks that he has made against black people, immigrants, and women, he did not see a lot of y'all as brothers or sisters in Christ. He did not like y'all. He hated y'all. He hated you. And he thought that you were beneath him in the societal totem pole. You were not on the same level as him, even as a Christian. You were beneath him. The disparaging remarks that this man has made about so many different marginalized communities, you were not to him a brother or sister in Christ. He wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. I need y'all to be so real right now. That moral pedestal, that moral high ground y'all want to stand on so bad, it doesn't make sense. That man didn't like you. He did not see you as his brother or sister in Christ. In fact, nothing about the way he lived his life exemplified Christ-like behavior. Nothing about it exemplified Christ-like behavior. He spewed hatred. A lot of it. Am I missing something? What about him was Christ-like, y'all? How he lived his life, what about it exemplified the way Jesus Christ lived his life? And then some of y'all are trying to compare his death to that of Christ. Isn't that like blasphemous? And considering he didn't make it to his Jesus year, nothing about him is Christ-like. The way some of y'all are moving, y'all would have mourned the master. Y'all would act exactly like Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django. Harriet would need to leave so many of y'all behind. A lot of y'all would have snitched on Nat Turner. I'm seeing now that many of y'all would have been turncoats on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Again, this man publicly, he made disparaging remarks about MLK, an activist and preacher. Again, he didn't see him as a brother in Christ. He didn't care about that legacy. But y'all want to stand on that moral high ground because y'all are so good and so righteous, right? I see why people don't take y'all seriously. Y'all are acting like clowns. It's a circus, and y'all are the clowns, jokesters. You're the jester. You're the court jester.
One thing I will keep telling people is do not start what you cannot finish. Do not start what will bite you. Do not plant a seed that at the end of the day, that seed will actually germinate to come and eat you up. You understand? Every single thing you're trying to put, just know that you're putting it in the minds of youths that are not like before. Yes, this is the social media era. This is the era that every single person, once they're angry, they can go astray. Don't use your mouth to say what at the end of the day it will swallow you, because this is just a typical example of what I said with my mouth swallowed me. And that is why a lot of people are not feeling sympathy. A lot of people don't even care. A lot of people are even happy, not just coming from the black community, so that nobody should come here and start saying, oh, it's just the black people that are happy. Not just the black people that are happy. Even some white people drop videos that when you watch this video, it is unbelievable that this is the person that is advocating for them. But at the end of the day, what else? They are so happy. Yes, racism do not pay bills. Let's continue and I'll be back with commentaries.
Hey, so Charlie Kirk just got shot. Maybe there are good guys with guns out there. Update, Charlie Kirk is officially looking up at us, and I'm about to head to the grocery store because I'm making ribs tonight. Oh, but he was a man with a wife and kids. Yeah, and now they're safe from him.
Again, another example of the tolerant left. Charlie Kirk was literally just assassinated, and he's essentially cheering it on, laughing at it. But we're not done.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. To everyone saying that it was such a senseless, violent act, I want you to remind yourself that it was God's plan.
There's this thing called free will. Maybe she should learn about it. But again, this is a side of tolerance, love, acceptance. This is a side that says they're morally superior than everybody else. Again, I want people to see this because they're putting this information out here for us to see. If an important figure on the left was just assassinated, they wouldn't be talking like this. Their energy would be totally different. These people are disgusting. There's no other way to put it. And they're showing us who they are repeatedly. Again, we need to see this for what it is. And what's crazy is the last girl was making fun of religion and the fact that he just got assassinated. It's disgusting. If you are not registered to vote, get registered to vote. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure you're voting in local elections, and make sure you come out for these midterm elections. We need to absolutely keep control of the House and the Senate. Now, just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter where I give you regular updates about what's going on, and this is one of the only places I absolutely can't be censored. It's also one of the best places to get up-to-date direct information from me. The link is in my profile. Just go there, click the link, you'll see the screen, drop your email and hit subscribe, and you'll be good to go. Anyway, that's all I got for now. We'll see you in the next one.
I ain't celebrate Charlie Kirk death, but I get it. The same people that laughed and made memes about George Floyd want you to lose sleep over Charlie Kirk. And for us, George Floyd wasn't even representative of all of us, but in their minds, he was. They call us didn't do nothings, implying that when we get arrested, it's cause it's always justified. That man claimed that we was better off slaves because when we were, there was less crime. And those people cheered. 400 years of suffering, death, inhumanity was better than you being free because he's afraid of people who look like you. He said Call of Duty events at schools were necessary casualties for freedom. Them people cheering for his demise ain't all crazy. You crazy for thinking the second somebody expire, they supposed to forget something you never knew. I guarantee you the people making those how could they posts didn't know that he said those things. And that's cool. Your reaction is still cool. Just stop crying about everybody else's reaction, bro. I'm not celebrating him getting packed up. But I'm not about to sit here and act like people haven't celebrating other people getting packed up all the time. Some of the same people complaining about this. When they got Saddam out of there, Osama, y'all ain't celebrate? You wasn't happy? They had families? Just chill out and let the moment pass, bro. That's it. But don't waste your indignance on people who probably gonna cheer when Obama gone.
Once again, I am less than enthused at Black Christians and their behavior towards Charlie Kirk. I've had to follow so many people that I know from my past on Instagram because of the stories that they've put up, sending their condolences to this racist man who has spread disgusting, hateful rhetorics throughout his 31 hard-looking years. The fact you put religion before your own identity as a minority, even when I'm seeing Black women saying RIP to this man. I don't care if that makes me a better person. Oh, you can't wish death on some... He said I can't. The world is going to crap. People have no empathy. I cry all the time at people's pain. What I'm not going to do is say that I'm sad for a man who spread real hate that has real consequences. I'm not gonna... You guys don't stand for anything. And Black Christians, I am just disgusted. And I'm not surprised. A lot of you align with the beliefs. So as long as the person is Christian, they can say racist things, they can say transphobic things, they can say homophobic things, they can say anti-immigration things, anti-Islam, they can say whatever they want. But because they said that they say the Lord Jesus is Lord, you lot are saying he was a man of God. You're deceived.
Yo. Before I start this video, I want to say rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Even though there wasn't one thing that came out your mouth that I agreed with. I can't lie, I didn't even like the way you breathed. But that doesn't mean I don't want you to breathe. Do you get what I'm saying? Publicly executing a man like that in front of his wife and kids is just absolutely insane. And then you want to say that you're a liberal. That doesn't make any sense. America's biggest problem is that they resort to guns whenever they have some sort of issue or problem with someone else. From presidents to rappers to political figures, if your opinion does not fit in line with someone else's, a gun can get pulled out. And that is a very sad story. The irony of this story is that it wasn't a black person that killed him. It wasn't a brown person that killed him. It wasn't an illegal immigrant that killed him. It wasn't a gang member that killed him. It was someone that looked exactly like him. It was a white man. Sometimes it'd be your own people. It'd be your own people that will X you off the map. Someone's opinion should not be detrimental to a community or their family. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I don't care. It goes the same thing for Ginger J. You don't have to agree with how he feels, but you don't have to kill the man online. That's all I'm saying. And don't get me wrong, for the two people I've mentioned, I do not agree on their mindset, but I do stand on mental health and I do stand on how to treat others, even if you don't share the same opinions. You get what I'm saying? The moment violence or malicious intent is involved, all morals fly out the window. America don't realize that they have a big war in their hands, and the people that will bear the brunt of this injury will be the blacks and the browns. I'm very sorry about it. Even though there were nothing to do with the killing, they'll be the ones that will be held responsible, which is very sad. Being a liberal means you want justice for all, even if they don't agree with your political views. I'm seeing people in the comments talking about, I hope the gun is okay, but if it's one of us now, you want instant justice. Let's be what we preach. Let us be what we preach. And if anyone comes in the comments talking about, so you agree with them, you should suck your mum. It's clear that you were born upside down.
So, I just want y'all to stop telling black people how we should feel when the world literally hates us. Like, it's just absolutely fucking mind-boggling at this point how much you all want us to act like these people do not despise us, talk the most shit about us on a day-to-day basis, literally pushing a negative agenda about our people. And we're supposed to just be like, well, it's a difference of political views. And mind you, I'm not even talking about specifically what happened yesterday, but I just want y'all to know that this is a reoccurring event. This is a reoccurring thing. Like, and like, just shut up, Bookie Butt. Because we didn't ask you anything.
Bro, I'm seeing black people post on their stories Charlie Kirk's death with like crying emojis. And really and truly, I thought they were laughing. But they're sad. I was like, the nigga didn't even like us, bro. Like, what's wrong with you guys? Like, I'm pretty sure. One of my friends said, bro, if Hitler was alive today in this generation and he was a Christian, but he was still doing what he was doing, you might not be upset that he died. You guys are coons, bro. I'm sorry. Like, shit, man. I can't lie. If I was a bad person, I would have done it myself, bro. I would have pulled the trigger myself. And saying, oh, he has family and that. Bro, I'm not feeling sorry for his wife. His wife married a man like that. What are we talking about here? His children, you know, was peak. Like, no one, even if your dad's a horrible man, you shouldn't see your dad die like that. That's horrendous. But flipping heck, man. Too much empathy. So you're going to compromise your normal human values? Your self-respect? You guys are cooked, man. Get on my face.
The hypocrisy of eulogizing and idolizing Charlie Kirk as a political martyr and political hero is staggering. The depth of gaslighting, untruths, the shameful opportunistic politicization of his assassination is a clear attempt to rewrite his history. Now, we know exactly who Charlie Kirk was, and there's no way on God's earth we're going to let you tell us what he was not. Charlie Kirk's legacy is a legacy of hate. He was a racist, white nationalist, white supremacist, anti-Muslim, Islamophobic, transphobic, Zionist bigot. And whatever my view of him is, doesn't change the fact that I find his assassination absolutely wrong. You know, multiple truths can coexist. First off, these hypocrites, his supporters, are manufacturing a crisis of war and using him as their symbol to go fight. Fight what exactly? Let me just say with my full chest that I am glad that it's not a black or immigrant that killed Charlie Kirk. Because you know it is a white person that killed him. You know that, right? If it had been a black or immigrant, that information would have leaked out a long time ago. And this whole apparatus of hate would have been targeted against the people who Charlie Kirk has spent his entire existence targeting. Let not the irony be lost on you that the same Charlie Kirk that pathologized black people as criminals and went on and on about black on black crime is now the face and symbol of white on white crime, which we all know is far worse than black on black crime. These same hypocrites tell us there is no place for political violence. I agree. But Charlie Kirk was politically violent. His language was politically violent. He supported gun violence and opposed gun control. The same person who said it is right for there to be a cost of gun deaths every year so that we can have the right to arms has now become the cost of gun violence he wanted other people to pay the price for. No political violence, you say, when Charlie Kirk endorsed and manufactured consent for Israel's genocide and political violence, crimes against humanity, against Palestinians every single day. These God-forsaken freedom of speech hypocrites are now hunting down people who are exercising their freedom of speech to either celebrate or quite frankly say they don't give a rat's ass that Charlie Kirk is dead. And these hypocrites are like, how dare you? You must lose your job and you must be punished. And I'm like, These hypocrites must be mad to demand that people extend humanity to Charlie Kirk, who never extended an ounce of humanity to people he targeted. So it is freedom of speech when Charlie Kirk said black people were better off during slavery, that black women lack processing skills, are only good at taking white people's slots. When he compared gay to drug addiction, called trans abomination, spewed anti-Muslim and Islamophobic hate, pushed white supremacist agenda against black and brown people, pushed white nationalist agenda against immigrants.
This is the result you get when you keep pushing hate. This is the result you get when at the end of the day, you cannot even say, okay, these people should actually be, like, I've watched countless of his interviews popping up on my FYP. I've reacted to one of his videos as well. That was about last week, right? And I didn't even know that this kind of thing is actually going to happen, right? When you see this person constantly throwing shades, throwing hate to a particular community, like without even having any fear or favor, or saying, okay, if today I need to like say something, let me say something good about these people. You can literally see from what he usually do in his campus campaign and every other stuff that this man literally is a racist. Is a racist. Like, the only thing I'm sorry for right now is for the fact that the children have to actually witness what actually happened. I really feel for them. The fact that the wife have to also witness what actually happened, I'm not really happy with that. It's sad. It's really, really sad. But in essence, you just have to mind whatsoever you say, no matter how you're trying to favor the white community. I saw one particular man crying, and the man was like, oh, that they finally by his president, his future president. And I was like, oh, it has even gotten to that point. It has even gotten to that point. You called yourself an activist, an advocate, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, the only thing you keep pushing is pushing hate to a particular direction. It's pushing hate to people of my kind of color. And I feel for him. Nobody deserves to die no matter what, right? But he actually got what he used his own mouth to say. That's what I will say in this particular video, because I think I've seen a particular video where he literally just, where he will be saying the right to gun is blah, blah, blah amendment. I think I played some of this clip that when those girls actually said it too. And even when people have been saying, oh, Pew should be restricted to a lot of people. It should be restricted to a lot of youth. Because why would you just get angry and the next thing you're bringing out is to pew someone? You're angry, the next thing you're bringing out is to direct something to a particular person. It's really, really sad, honestly. It's sad. And I hope a lot of these politicians be able to learn from this particular mistake, because if it happened to this particular person, it can definitely happen to you. Do not even think that it will not happen in some cases. You get? Because this has been happening countless repeatedly and nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody wants to say anything about it. Everybody just wants to keep quiet. Everybody just wants to be short about it. Everybody just feel like it is normal. You understand? Now it has visited the home itself. That particular thing you're feeding people, they have used it to visit you as well. Honestly, I'm feeling bad, but I'm not too sad. I will say it. I'll just say my honest truth. That's how it is on my own end. I'm feeling bad, but I'm not too sad, because yes, I know that one day every one of us will actually die. We'll go meet God, or we go to hell, anywhere we want to go to. But nobody prays to that to pie this way. You get my point? Nobody prays so, and it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you have not subscribed, like this video, drop me a comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. This video is just for educational purpose, nothing more, nothing less. Query belongs to original creators of every videos and stitches used in today's episode. And yes, guys, with no further ado, I do have the quality in my videos. I'm going to be simple, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Don't touch the dial. Come back for more videos, and I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.